various printing process like next slide. These are the major printing processes. One is the relief printing, letterpress and flexography. These are relief printing process, and offset printing, which is now just now we have seen the newspaper printing videos. So this is the offset printing process, and intaglio gravure printing, mostly for package printing nowadays it is being used, and screen printing, which earlier it was called also stencil printing, and the latest one is the digital printing, where you can print the documents directly from computer to production level. Madam, next. So this is just an overview of the letterpress and flexography. Flexography is also being used for labels and packaging materials. So the basic difference is in offset printing, the image and non-image areas remain in the same surface, same plane. But in flexography and letterpress, the image surface is raised over the non-image area. So image transfer will be the image portion. First, the ink roller will apply the ink on the image surface, and through some pressure, that is called the pressure roller. So it will transfer the image onto the substrate being used for printing. So some points have been mentioned here: high quality and the quality of printing, durability and the versatility. So letterpress and flexography are being used for basically nowadays. Letterpress is being used in a very limited version. So use of this process is being limited nowadays until and unless it is required for the particular document printing. Some disadvantages also is mentioned here: the cost and the limited details in terms of the graphics reproductions, especially where photographs and other graphic material is there. So it will have a limited use. Next. So these are some diagrams which is being used, and there are three different types of letterpress printing: flatbed, platen and rotary system. But the use of this, as I have mentioned it earlier, that it is being used very limited nowadays, because the offset printing has taken place, the printing, this printing process. So this the same process or principle can be used in three different ways, that is rotary, platen and flatbed. And next is the this is the overview of traditional offset printing. So the large volume of printing production is being done through this offset printing process, and there are two different types. One is sheet fed and another one is the web offset. तो जो न्यूज़पेपर प्रिंटिंग अभी हमने देखा है, तो that is web offset printing. That means we are printing this paper roll through this web offset machine. And another one is the sheet fed, where we are printing sheet by sheet. So that is being done through this sheet fed printing. Some basic principle is it is basically an indirect process of printing, like unlike a letterpress printing where the image is being transferred from the printing surface to substrate directly. But in case of offset printing, it first transfers onto the intermediate cylinder, that is called a blanket cylinder, and then the image is transferred onto the substrate. So that the name also has been derived from this offset process due to this intermediate cylinder. And the quality of printing is better. Best quality printing can be achieved through this offset printing process. Next. And some basic principles has been mentioned here. Water and ink application. Unlike letterpress or printing process, we are directly applying ink onto the image surface, and ink is being transferred to the substrate. So no need of any other dampening solution. But in offset printing process, it requires as the image and non-image area are in the same surface, same level. So that's why it requires a separation of image area and non-image area. So initially some dampening solution is applied over the plate and it adheres to the non-image area. And then inking roller is applied onto the same plate on the same surface. So ink will be adhered onto the image area only, not in the non-image area, because that has been already it has been applied to non-image area, the dampening solution. So it will prevent ink to adhere onto the non-image area. So only ink will be applied to the image area and ink will be transferred finally to the substrate through the blanket cylinder. So some examples are there, so books, magazine, newspaper. So wherever the long run is required, number of impression is more, and we can use this process offset printing widely. And we also use for multicolor printing. It is the best process so far. We have seen in package reproduction, there nowadays packaging printing is being done. Some other process like gravure printing and flexographic printing, but still offset can give the best quality printing, especially on paper. Next. Some advantages: high image quality, cost effective, and fast production, because it can give impression up to just we have seen the wave offset printing for newspaper printing. It is giving impression 80,000 per hour. So, but in sheet fed offset process, the speed may be lower, but however it is around 20,000 per hour that can be achieved. So in that case, sheet fed printing gives the best quality reproduction or printing process. Some disadvantages also mentioned here. Their setup cost, because machine itself is a very costly investment. As of just we have seen the newspaper printing, it will be around 200 crore or more. So in that case, the investment is a very big factor and not suitable for small runs, because if we want to publish 1000 or 2000 copies of any printed product or books, then it will be the unit cost will be higher. So in that case, nowadays digital printing has taken place. Replace the this shorthand printing. So in case of good, at least minimum 4,000, 5,000 should be required for a offset printing publication. So these are some of the sketches based on the principle that we have mentioned. It requires, basically offset is a rotary printing process. It requires cylinders, and there are 3 cylinders. One carries the plate that the document will be printed, and the intermediate cylinder is called the blanket cylinders. Blanket, that is because it requires a rubber blanket is mounted onto this cylinder. So initially, after getting the ink impression from the plate cylinder, it transferred to the blanket cylinder. Then blanket cylinder will transfer the image onto this substrate, which will be passed through this blanket and impression cylinder. So this is another. The right side is the it shows the dampening system. Before applying ink onto the plate, we have to apply some dampening water to in effect the non-image area, because in offset printing process image and non-image areas remain on the same surface. So we have to distinguish this image and non-image areas. Madam, next. So this is CTP and CTM. Earlier there was a very big issues was there, so graphic reproduction. So in that case, nowadays the latest technology being used in the field is the CTP system. That is, CTP is the computer to plate. Earlier it requires a lot of processing, manual operation, manual judgment, measurement, again and repetition was there. But nowadays, directly from a laser source, the image is being exposed onto the plate from the computer. So, and just within a 10 or 12 minutes you can get the finished plates, and that is being used for the, that will be used for the machine for printing process. Next. And so we are getting the good best quality through the CTP process, faster production, cost efficient, enhanced accuracy and image carrier preparation. Next. So this is a flow chart where we are using the conventional system. It requires a lot of steps, and in CTP system it just requires only 3 steps are there. Next. Gravure printing, especially it requires, it is being used nowadays in package printing, and also for publication purpose also, where the paper is being printed, we can use this process. Gravure printing is basically the image is etched on the cylinder's metallic cylinder surface. Through the etching process, the image is created onto the surface, and then we apply ink onto the surface, and through some impression cylinder, the surface is being printed. So it requires a liquid ink instead of pasting in the offset printing process. So some points, notable point is the opposite process of relief printing, sunken image area, that is the image in the recessed area, direct image creation, and it requires for a high view printing, the process is used and usually printed on a roller press. Gravure printing, earlier it was initially it was started with a flat surface, but nowadays it is being printed with a rotary cylinder. Next. So this is a typical sketch where you can find this direct printing process. One is the cylinder which carries the main image, and the substrate is passed in between the impression and the image cylinder. So where we can print both paper as well as the polymeric substrate. Next. So this is a typical, this is a that copper cylinder where the image is engraved, and this is the typical sketch where you can find the various elements, and ink is directly applied to the gravure cylinder from the ink duct, and it uses the liquid ink for the printing. Next. So the evolution of traditional to modern printing techniques. Next. So these are the some traditional process, and nowadays the latest technology is being used is the digital printing process, where directly when the image is or document to be published or printed is ready in the computer system, we can directly print. So we need not to go in offset or letterpress or gravure or flexography. Directly from the computer system, we can make a digital printing, just like a laser printer or other inkjet type printer. We can print the required printing. It can be used for various printing purpose, like your any books, manuals, or any pamphlets, posters, everything, or even in textile printing also. This process is being used nowadays. Next. So these are the various types of digital printing. One is inkjet printing, another is laser printing, dye sublimation printing. So laser gives the best quality resolution. So for graphical reproduction, we can use this laser printing process, and this is little bit costlier than the inkjet printing process. Next. So the impact on the printing industry, it has a flexibility, speed, cost effectiveness, because nowadays mainly this digital printing is being used for short length printing, because offset printing gives a less cost per unit production, whereas the digital printing is comparatively higher. So in that case, we have to decide uh, whether we have to save or we have to save the time. And high gives the good quality printing, and there are some other advantages. Variable data printing, so we can make the uh, customized printing through this digital printing process. Suppose you have to print some certificates or some others where your customized data is required. In that case, we can use this digital printing process for each and every uh, printing matter. There are some environmental benefits also there, because it makes less waste material. Next. And this digital printing, we can call it as also print on demand printing, because the moment we are deciding our CRC or the electronic document is ready for printing, so in that case, once we place the order, we can start the printing process. That is why it is called print on demand or on demand printing. Next. So these are some advantages: cost efficiency, inventory management, accessibility, speed on to market, and environmental impacts and customization that I have already mentioned. So customized printing is possible through this digital printing. Next. These are some other aspect of printing, and that is a security printing. Security means where some security features is incorporated into the document. Just like financial document, we have seen that bank checks are there. Just like that, there are security marks, security ink, security paper. We are using this to make it a secure document, so that if it is being duplicated, then it can be easily traced out. So there are some anti-counterfeiting authentication mark. Some special inks are also there. Paper is also there. So with this, we can use a secure document. Some of the advancement in security printing is regulatory compliance, technological integration, and consumer trust, because all these security features gives us the customer trust to enhance the security, build consumer confidence. Next. So next we are moving to publication and e-publishing trends. So publishing, it is for all publication purposes, printing is the last process by which we can print all the documents as per requirement. And self-publishing, this is related to the, and e-publishing is related all the electronic publishing process. And the impact and connection with the print technologies is accessibility, cost reduction in interactive content. So all these are related to the e-publishing. And the global scenario is that there will be a 23.12 billion US dollar by 2026, and increasing smartphone and internet penetration driving ebook adoption, because now the communication has brought a revolution. In that case, e-publishing is getting popular. And self-publishing, you can also use this self-publishing process once it is coming to the electronic media. And some important points is digital rights management, platform variety and readers preference. So this has to be taken consideration when we are going for or considering for the e-publishing. Next. So this is another aspect of printing and publishing, automation and robotics in printing, and some automation use of technology to outcome printing process from pre-press to post-press. So various automation processes there, basically especially in the quality control in printing. And robotics is also being used in implementation of robots to tasks like material handling and finishing, as material handling, especially in the newspaper printing house and other big printing houses, especially in package printing houses. The robotics has been introduced in the printing process, and there are some impacts is increased efficiency, consistency, and cost reduction also there for using this robotics in the field of printing industry. And facts. So these are some figures by which the global and Indian market is doing. Important points is scalability, flexibility, and safety. So which this robotics part is taking care of. And some artificial intelligence and machine learning is also has already taken place in this industry, like in machine what is called especially in the maintenance part, the artificial intelligence and robotics has already started some works on this to taking care of this maintenance, especially the preventive maintenance part, because once the machine is break down, then there will be a lot of production hour loss. So in that case, introduction of robotics is a very important part, and it improves the productivity. Next. So these are the some facts of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and this is the global scenario. The figure is 27.2% from 21 to 26, and in India also this is being used, and it also saving the cost. And some other is innovation, drivers innovation, customer insights, and quality control. Enhance the quality control through the real-time monitoring and adjustment. Before nowadays the machines is being developed like before starting the printing, we can feed data into the machine, so that machine itself can adjust the various parameters according to the printing characteristics or the need of the print quality. So that is a very technological advancement in this field, and these are the future trends is uh, definition and future trends, emerging developments that will shape the future of printing industry, and impacts and connection with the printing to the sustainable practice. So we can use a lot of eco-friendly materials and personalization, hybrid printing, hybrid in the sense of integration of traditional and digital printing. In case if you need some urgent copies, so we can go in a digital process, and after that we can go by traditional process like offset printing. And the future trend says global market will be growing like this way, 821 US dollar billion dollar by 2024, and there will be growth in India at GSCR of 12%. And sustainability, so there are a lot of green technology here. The eco-friendly materials is being used for printing ink and adhesive part, uh, so that environmental impact is less or minimum. And technology integration, ongoing convergence of digital, traditional and smart technologies, rising demand for innovation, sustainable printing solution. So these are the some green initiatives that we can consider for printing process. And the conclusion is the importance of continuous adoption and innovation in the printing industry. So next, you have any specific question in this regard, so we can discuss it here.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay Das, for bringing us the old processes to the new process we have adopted. It recalls all our memories. We started some 50-70 years back, and now we are at the stage of artificial intelligence and digital printing. Thank you very much, Mr. Das.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
So I have a
Mr.
question
Das?
here. Sir. Yeah, this is Sanjay Agarwal. So I've just seen the newspapers which are being printed. So a lot of places within the government offices, within share market brokers, and even at residents, today nobody is reading the paper. So जैसे आपने बोला संजय जी ने कि there's a lot of wastage. So the papers are like, I think 50% of newsprint is ideally not being read. So how do you want to address this in the future?
Mr. Agarwal, you are right. After the COVID, the people start using the digital media, subscribing in the online mobile, smartphone, newspaper, digital read. Most of the people are doing that. But still, people want to prefer on the bigger paper, like better than the smaller mobile phone. Because whenever you read on the mobile, it's not detailed you read. You only read the bullet points. But in newspaper, you read always the detailed news. And in newspaper, you can analyze so many things, which normally people avoid it on the mobile phone. That is the difference. And I am not seeing any reductions in the newspaper reading. Because if one starts stopping the newspaper, others start, like the Hindu newspaper, which we are printing as of now, the students like those papers very well, because the students who are into 12th or entrance exam preparations, they are subscribing to this paper, and their newspaper price is 15 rupees per copy, which is higher than any newspaper in India basically. No, I don't think so. It will stop. It will go on. People go on reading for next 5-10 years. Maybe after 5-10 years, the more bigger mobile or bigger screen at home will come. The people start reading on the TV or on like that. This is my view on that.
Right. And so one question was, is recycled paper going to be used in the newspaper industry for the larger volumes, sir?
Yeah.
Recycled paper, is it?
Yeah, that is why the pulp is very scary in India. The people want to use the recycle instead of using the prime pulp, because pulp is made with the help of cutting trees. People avoiding cutting trees nowadays. So it's recycling, government preferring recycling, to use recycle of the newsprint, and that is why all waste goes to the mills for the recycling and all, and that's how the paper produced in India.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Das.